early, too. I thought it was down to Michigan and Washington.
Yeah.
And I would have gone Washington by virtue of conference win.
Probably Washington would have put up a better fight than Michigan.
Because at that point, you are talking about guarantees for each of the 5 major conference winners.
Yeah.
They're all getting a spot.
You have all 5 conference winners and then 3
and then 3 at large.
Yep. And that was what it would have been.
That's fair.
Because that's what it should be. That's what it should be. But now,
and then we don't have this debate anymore about UCFs of the world because in the first round game when they're the 8th seed and they have to play Alabama,
it would be done with.
They're going to get curb stomped by Alabama in the first game. It ain't going to be 45-34.
Alabama versus Troy again.
It would have been done and over with.
But they still would have said we're missing our quarterback.
Yeah.
We could have beat Alabama.
Well, you're missing your second string quarterback too because Alabama killed him.
Well, listen, Alabama's second string quarterback would have been fine against them.
Alabama's backups would have killed them. Exactly. But you literally could put Alabama in twice.
Yeah.
Their first team and their backups.
Yeah.
And that's probably not far from what actually would have happened. A team like Alabama that knows they can take a UCF very easily, they are playing backups in that game.
Jalen Hurts
save them for the next 2.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts would have played quarterback the whole second half.
Yeah,
you'd see Tua play that like the last preseason game. He's playing 4 snaps and he's out.
Well, it'd have been like every other game this season where he only played 3 quarters.
Fair point.
But if after the games, who would you be your 8 teams now that you would put in?
Yeah, I still don't have a real good answer for that. I mean, definitely
the 2.
Definitely Bama.
Yeah.
Definitely Clemson. You still have to put Notre Dame in because they had no losses. Yeah. Oklahoma made a comeback towards the end of the game, so I think you still have to put Oklahoma in there. Georgia, Ohio State. But those last 2 are going to be hard to fill because, do you argue that maybe LSU should have been ranked higher? I don't know.
No.
He said
no.
I really have no answer for it. That's a tough one, who to put in after.
Yeah,
Florida probably makes it in by virtue of being a stronger team than we thought they were.
Yeah, Florida's a lot better than everybody thought they were to end the season.
Yeah. Florida can give a run for his money.
Now, Florida's scared to poop out of anybody right now.
I mean, the final rankings are going to be interesting because you had teams like Syracuse waxed West Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, West Virginia without
Washington State, way better than Washington.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting on the final rankings. Washington State might be a top 10 team.
But you had them playing without Will Greer, though.
Will Greer trying to protect.
We didn't have our quarterback. We could have beat Syracuse.
No, West Virginia legit had a gripe.
All UCF fans have sun poisoning.
Oh yeah, they do that.
They can't even think straight. Seeing mirages, national championships in the distance.
They say that West Virginia used that excuse. Why can't we?
Because Will Greer is way better than Milton.
Oh, I agree.
That's why.
That's not even arguable.
Yeah, that's why.
No. This ain't up for debate.
They actually play people, and Will Greer did well against them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's a big gigantic difference. Y'all played garbage, and yeah.
Imagine we had Will Greer this year.
Will getting kicked out of Florida was all Teeth's fault.
Yeah.
All the reason we sucked for all them years was Teeth's fault. If you would have got Dan Mullen before you got the Teeth, we wouldn't even be having discussions about anything right now. Dan Mullen would have had them turned around in 2 years.
I love how his name won't go mentioned here. You just call him the Teeth.
Nah, because you can't even get me to say that dude's name.
The Teeth.
Shark Boy.
Spit piss.
Yeah, I cannot stand that man. Okay. Death threat. That's what we'll call him.
All right.
We'll call him death threat.
So before we
apparently I sent one to him too. I don't know.
Before we go, let's talk a little bit NBA, and I want to talk about James Harden right now.
Oh, you mean Mr. Around the World?
Yeah, Mr. Around the World.
Mr. Around the World.
Dude is averaging 33 points a game right now,
and 17 uncalled travels.
Yeah. Here's some of his points from like the last few games: 44, 43, 41, 45, 41.
But
39.
if they call travels, this would be a stat line: 28, 29, 27, 20. I can't take basketball seriously anymore. Watching what I have witnessed over these past few games that I have actually watched on TV, dudes taking shots out of bounds and them still counting. People traveling like blatantly. Flat out traveling in front of you and you going, oh, what's that? No, I just can't take basketball seriously anymore. It hurts my feelings. because I want to enjoy it, but I can't.
I just, besides all that, and you got a point. Don't get me wrong. You got a clear point. What this dude's doing is crazy.
But he wouldn't do it if you called if you called stuff like you're supposed to call stuff. Because half the 3-pointers he takes, he travels on.
Hey.
There's no argument. He travels on the majority of the 3. The one he won the game with the other night, it wasn't travel. He traveled. He went back around the 3-point line 4 times.
Well, I guess you can't get mad at it because they didn't call Kevin Durant being out of bounds.
That's what I'm saying. They can't call anything right. Kevin Durant
the officials are equal opportunity bad at their job.
Oh, it's terrible. It is just blatantly terrible. The bad part is these guys know they can get away with it.
Yeah.
So they keep doing it.
That's why I can't blame him for it.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing the game within the way that they allow the game to be played now.
And the way they play the game now is just...
But yeah, that's why I say I agree with what you're saying, but I'm just talking about what this man is doing.
He's went nuts.
And this is why I don't get why they added Chris Paul.
Don't you shush me. Get back.
I just don't get, like, Chris Paul's not playing, and they're playing... He's playing so much better without Chris Paul. And I always thought that, you had 2 ball-dominant guards playing together, how that's going to work.
It's usually difficult to make that work. You can't have 2 guys play with the ball in their hands every time down the court. It just doesn't work. It's something the Sixers are figuring out with Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons at the same time. You can't play with 2 guys who need the ball to be successful at the same time.
How do you feel about that you hear rumors about y'all going to trade Ben Simmons? Which I think
it would be a bad idea to bet your future on Jimmy Butler over Ben Simmons at this point.
I agree 100%.
I don't think Jimmy Butler is a bad player, and I think if the team was winning, you're not going to hear anything out of him. But they're not winning, and they have no depth, and their 3 big pieces don't fit together at all. It's like they have a puzzle, and they have 3 corners, but they have nothing else to connect to it.
Yes. And then you got Joel Embiid who's complaining about the spacing, and he's saying that he's going to take...
Well, that's all jacked up because you have 2 guys who need the ball in their hands at the same time to be successful. Mm-hmm. It jacks up the whole flow of the game.
And then... you already don't have this. Brett Brown's a decent coach. He's not the best coach, but in some situation you could run that better a little bit. I kind of question some of his.
I feel like he knows what needs to be run, but he doesn't know the times to run it.
Exactly.
His pacing of what he does in the game is all over the place.
Right. But that's the thing, you get these ball dominant players together and you're trying to figure out how it's going to work.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah. And yet,
they needed a spot up shooter to be their third option. And I don't know who your spot up shooting star is that doesn't need the ball to be successful. Maybe they would have been better off waiting for Golden State to implode and going after Klay Thompson.
Right.
Yeah, that makes more sense with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid there than Jimmy Butler, who he's not going to be happy not having the ball either.
No.
Jimmy Butler needs the ball.
The whole thing's very confusing to me.
It's very confusing. And,
but Houston,
but it speaks to the Chris Paul thing too.
Yeah.
Why it doesn't work?
Oh yeah.
They take turns a lot though.
They do.
Either that or James just takes the ball.
He does.
Yeah. James is like.
I think it's more of that he's taking the ball and he's going to do what he has to do to win.
That dude dribbles way too much.
They had a stat out there. They said teams who took 7 more dribbles than 2 to 3, Rockets was all the way up there.
You think?
Yeah.
He does that himself.
Listen, I know it's got to be frustrating.
And then a couple of times he don't even dribble. He just runs around.
So it's one of those things that you sit there and you watch the Rockets offense, and it's like you said, dribble. But he's so talented in making a shot that it's like, but if you sit there and watch that offense, it's really boring.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really boring.
And easy boring. It really is boring. And they should turn the ball over a lot more than they do too, but they don't get called for it.
But I still just find that ridiculous about how Kevin Durant was out.
He was out of bounds. Like out of bounds. And goes,
come on, it was close.
And then his response, the ref's making bad calls all game.
He's not wrong.
I mean, he's not. He's not wrong.
And it ain't like you can't see his feet are out of bounds. His feet look like Sideshow Bob's.
Yeah.
His feet literally look like skis. You can see he's out of bounds.
He took 3 steps out of bounds and hit the ball.
Exactly. And I'm like, they're bad, man. It's bad.
So it's Golden State. Are they just coasting, or is there some concern with them?
Golden State don't care right now.
They're coasting. They're playing for the playoffs. They're not playing for now.
Golden State don't care right now. They're going to take their time. They'll turn it up at the end of the season.
Well, that's the thing. If they know if they turn it up with like 15 games left, they're still going to end up the number 1 seed.
Exactly, and they still got somebody coming.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is they're going to turn it up when they need to get him involved into the game, and then bam, that's when you'll see that they'll be okay.
Oh yeah,
and then everybody will shut up about it.
They turn their sliders all the way down. So
I mean, for a team with that kind of playoff experience, it almost makes sense to me that they're handling it the way they are.
Yeah, the West is very.
They know that they're playing for the finals. They're not playing for the best team in the league in January.
Yeah, the West is very, very intriguing with it being already from like 1 to all the way down to Team 12.
And really, with the way the East is shaking out, do any of them have any reason to be concerned with anybody? No. I'm not concerned with Toronto. I'm not concerned with Milwaukee, not over a 7-game series in the finals.
Boston, I was concerned about them. I thought they were going to do something. They just falling off.
Boston and Philly are struggling so much, though, that I just can't see either one of them mounting any sort of successful attempt at the finals.
Yeah, so whoever.
And that's who I thought would be playing for the chance to go this year.
I thought for sure. I put my money on Boston as well. And I'm not a big buyer in Boston anymore.
I like pancakes. Oh.
And the East is just it's a crapshoot.
Aren't the Bucks leading the East now?
The Bucks and Raptors are tied atop the East.
Yes. Oh wow!
And you have 3 teams in right now. I think 3 with losing records.
No, just 2.
As of today, just 2.
Just 2.
So it's off by 1.
Charlotte and Brooklyn.
That's not going to change over the second half. They're still going to get at least 2 teams in with losing records.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which, honestly, though, the Magic aren't out of it.
They are 17 and 21.
They're in.
They're 1 game back of the last playoff spot.
Pretty much.
Yes.
They got a shot. But I told people, I said, you win 35 games in the East and you're in.
The Boston is the 4th seed.
35? You might not even need 35. You might need 34.
Yeah.
Boston is 23 and 15 in the 5th seed.
Before we go, Kawhi returned back to San Antonio.
Boo!
What fraudulent behavior that was.
The dude won your championships and you boo him?
Yeah,
he was the finals MVP and you boo him?
Yeah.
I can understand if it's like he didn't win anything, but the dude helped you win a title.
He's getting booed there like he said he was with Trump building the wall.
I'm just like, why is he getting booed? I didn't understand it. But then that just showed me, like, because I really thought San Antonio fans were better than that. I guess not.
Basketball in San Antonio since Tim Duncan retired has regressed to the 1970s.
Well, they've been spoiled.
I don't even know what the hell they're watching anymore.
They've been spoiled for
they got spoiled for a very long time.
And now that
this is front runner behavior, though. It's not like we're educated basketball fans behavior.
The best game I saw DeMar DeRozan play, though. Triple double, his first triple double.
Well, that's the reaction you would be after playing your former team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just give it to him.
That was the face of your franchise forever, and you traded him like he wasn't worth anything. Now, I don't know if he's technically a good face of the franchise guy, but he was the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah. He had a good stake there, and I'm sure he's not mad at the players, but he's sure more mad at the management and the fans. Or not, he's not mad at the fans either, but more mad at the management and stuff like that. But like you said, man, the East is just such a crapshoot, man. You just don't know what's going to come out of the East. But regardless, when they come out of the East, it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I don't think that's far off.
So, yeah, I just want to talk a little bit of basketball and talk about James Harden's historic run. And I guess Kevin want to talk about all the miles he traveled with his Fitbit on.
Travel!
Hey,
Kevin got things switched up. He's tracking James Harden's Fitbit.
He's visiting Spain. No, I gave him my Pokemon Go account. That way he could walk my eggs for me.
Oh, all right. I think that should be a wrap. Let's close this bad boy out. Make sure you try to stay tuned with me and Kevin.
He still hasn't filmed me a Cubone yet, and I'm mad.
Cubone?
Yeah.
Like I said, as you heard at the beginning of the show, I get my own place now. So as soon as I get internet set up, this will be more of a consistent effort, I promise.
Yeah, and then he can do it. We're going to do live.
Yes.
We're going to do live ones with video on it so you can see what Cortez doesn't wear.
Yeah.
While he's podcasting at his house.
This is exciting.
Yeah, striptease podcast.